Welcome to the ODSII podcast, everyone. I am Justin Rankin, Dungeon Master of Dumpspace. I am joined with some of the most talented Dungeons & Dragons players that I have had the displeasure of spending time with.
In different clothes.
In different clothes,
yeah,
yes.
Signaling the passage of time.
These are great. Once again, doing great audio bits with Neville dancing around and talking about the different clothes we're wearing. Welcome to episode 3 of the ODSII podcast. Last we left off, you guys were kind of... you didn't know where you were. You entered the big, colorful wormhole, and where we cut to... what are your guys' constitution scores? Who's got the highest constitution score? It's got to be
16.
TBD or Greg, right?
I think that
15.
15?
was
Wow.
actually
17.
yeah.
17.
I think I got 16. Yeah.
16.
Okay.
We'll call it 17. So, Dormir, you're actually, we'll say you're the first one that wakes up from
The
this.
fattest.
Yeah. Constitution ties directly to body weight.
Constituted of a lot of fat.
Dormir, you wake up surrounded by Hershey's wrappers on the deck of the ship.
You take off your CPAP
Been there, my
mask.
friend.
You are the first to wake up. You're on the deck of the ship. You were probably one of the ones thrown around a little bit.
I was.
And you come
Which
to...
is weird because he's so fat. You think he's pretty stable.
I
doesn't
actually
he?
had so much padding.
Yeah, you roll around like Sonic the Hedgehog all around the ship. You come to, and as you sit up, you're definitely like, it's weird. You feel like energized, but still a little shaken up. Looking around as you kind of sit up, your allies, what?
As one does post-dump.
As one does post-dump, yeah, just woo. Looking around on the deck of the ship, you have...
Sorry, Neva's whispering post-dump clarity.
Post-dump clarity is good. That's a good contender for episode title.
I mean, have you tried to make decisions when you had to shit? You were good.
It's so quiet over there.
Just laughing to himself. You have post-dump clarity, as it is called. You wake up on the deck of the ship and you sit up. Once again, just silence. And you're looking around, and your allies, all also strewn around the deck of the ship, do look like they're starting to awaken here.
I brushed the Hershey's wrappers over to Greg's body.
Yeah, you make it seem like it's all surrounded by him. You wipe some of the chocolate like on his lips. And looking around, just kind of like in the space around you, you do not recognize where you're at, nor is this type of space something you're used to. In Wonder Space, bright colors, right? Or like, very effervescent violets and stars streaking. There was a brightness here. Right now, those will-o-wisps that surround your ship, those blue flames that are just kind of eternally lit, are really the only light here. As you're looking around and you kind of press your eyes up to those clear plates on the side of the ship.
I put them directly on the glass.
Yeah, just your eyeballs is going around. The colors are dark. They're grays and browns and very muted. And once in a while, you'll see stars and things, but almost things that kind of like flash and then die out. And as that happens, you do see that there is all sorts of debris also just kind of like floating around you. No sign. Debris, yeah. I do mean Debris.
Good catch.
Thank you, man.
I want to pronounce things properly on this pod.
We're ODSII pronunciation podcast. The Debris around you. And as you look around, there's no signs of planets, and the only real light source every once in a while, kind of to directly in front of your ship. Even as a skilled cartographer, you have really no sense of direction here right now. Directly in front of your ship, you see it's almost like a streak of light that goes vroom, 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 pretty far away.
Like in the distance.
In the distance, yeah. It seems like to be the only real source of light in this area. And the rest of you also begin to kind of wake up here.
Are there moons and stars, planets, like in the I guess it would just be stars. We're probably
Just
in the middle.
stars, and there's definitely noticeably less stars than what you are used to, but planets and stuff you do not see much of. What
you described, is it like fractures in space?
Some of them are, yeah. There's
Okay.
fractures in space, and there's also just like debris, some would say,
There you go.
of like asteroids and rocks and things. And then that crack in space, or what looks like a crack in space, you don't know how far it is, of that kind of like flashing light. It's like a bright cyan. Vroom, vroom. All of you kind of begin to wake up here. And actually next to you, Spindly, you also awaken next to, it is a thin, like a golden, like a notebook. You recognize these. You have worked on them many a time. It's a dumping codex. It is the thing that kind of details why a dump happened. And you see next to you, it is the one labeled Bovinia.
Is that like one of those books you keep in your bathroom so people could write when they take a shit?
A dumping codex, yeah.
For the post-dump clarity.
Yeah, the post-dump clarity. But there's a dumping codex with not that much content. And you know that this usually, anyone that is subjected to dumping, you know that this generally populates on the planet. So it is not surprising that one would also be on your ship, considering you were brought in with the dump. But there's probably like one more on Bovinia proper, maybe on each of those sections that broke off, and then one on your ship. And the rest of you wake up. All sorts of kind of, state of disarray and, a grogginess almost, but you all are long rested.
Okay, perfect.
I'm
famished, dude. I wish we had something to eat.
Chocolate bars.
Greg, what?
Every ration.
You take all my Hershey's Kisses.
I don't even know what's happening.
I'm gonna kind of look at Spinley, and knowing that he's the only other one kind of from the Wonder Inc. Corporation, and did you, under my breath, do you know anything about this?
I shake my head.
Yeah, you two. How do we get back
Yeah.
to like the good places?
Yeah, surely this was a mistake.
Yeah,
Right?
we were getting our license.
Yeah.
pass?
Yeah.
I pull out a tattered up notebook. Okay, we did. I do have some accolades to hand out later.
We can do it right now.
I'll take one
accolade, please.
I start flipping through, and okay, Spinley, to start with you. Well, I don't think we are done with the test yet. I think this is still part of it, but a nice little halfway check. Yes. Spinley. According to the Slack handbook, of getting your adventuring license, Spinley, you're getting a badge of safety for successfully disarming a trap. You're also getting another safety badge for battlefield disguise. Vico, you get a badge for confrontation. And this is for aggressor, Slack, safety, leadership, flipping through pages, asset retrieval, and confrontation. Slack, so you get confrontation, aggressor de-escalation times 5.
You see, at this point, your intern pops out. Lou, he gets out of the bag. He's like, "Is that just from shooting guys?"
I guess I did.
He goes, "Hey, Brin, this is the intern Lou. He says, do I get a safety badge for kind of being subject to the trap? It wasn't really disarmed, so to speak. It was just kind of
No, Spinley disarmed it.
Oh, right. No, I'm sorry. I'm crawls back in the bag.
I stand behind Brin. I do that.
Protect.
The zippy lip.
Yeah. Just thumb on the throat.
My face. You're going down.
I look at TBD for asset retrieval. You did mend a robot. Very good. Also for confrontation, you got aggressor de-escalation, and for safety, which I am very appreciative. You did protect your crew. You protected me.
If I had tears, I would cry.
I'm crying. Greg, you get a badge for asset retrieval. I believe you did CPR on a robot.
Yep.
Yeah. It's good work. And
I'd like to thank my new friend Vico for all his support.
Great. Good job.
He's fully said nothing to you the entire adventure.
You also said you love me, and now I've gotten nothing.
And then for leadership, for taking charge of the helm. Good work. And then Dormir, you also get an asset retrieval badge for mending a robot. And then for confrontation, you did excellent work at aggressor identification.
Oh.
Very fired. Okay. Good work, everybody. The test seems like we're still in it.
Oh, I thought surely that meant we probably passed.
Well,
that's so many accolades you just gave out.
Everyone did such great work. Yes,
Vico. Who decides these accolades?
Me, your captain, your combat assessor. I mean,
are we allowed to nominate people?
I start flipping through the book. You are allowed to nominate, but yes.
Cool. Yeah, I'd like to nominate Greg for his valiant effort in throwing me.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, we can. I think we
You
can.
don't gotta thank me.
I think we can fit that in. Safety. Throwing teammates out of danger's way.
Well, I'd like to nominate Vico for the best recovery after a heartbreak.
Oh.
Ongoing.
Really several rounds to that badge.
Leadership development, getting over heartbreak. Good work.
That was more like a recovery chip kind of thing. It's been 24 hours.
So, Mr. Tally, what's the next part of our test?
Yeah. This is the 3,002nd time I think I've done this. This is new territory.
And there's a bleakness here. Like, you guys are... It's silent. Like, there's generally some sort of noise when you guys are out in space, like even traversing between planets. There's some form of life. There is sounds of other ships kind of whizzing in the distance, or at least lights and stuff that are here. You guys are like marooned. Like, you are looking around, and the ship itself, surprisingly, when you look around, is like in pretty good shape. There's definitely some damage just like on the top deck. You don't know about the outer hull, though. You have not really taken that much of a look.
But our tractor beam and hyperdrive are still intact.
Right, tractor beam and hyperdrive. Yeah, so let me hey, look.
And all the laser cannons.
I draw it at surprise guns, okay? There's no surprise tractor beams.
From my past life as a space pirate, would I know how much fuel we're working with in the ship?
You could go down and check. You absolutely
I'm gonna
could.
go down and check.
Yeah, you still, the borrowed knowledge has expired here, but you'd still have some sort of, so it wouldn't be like advantage on the check, but you have some experience here. Going down, and ships like this, there's a number of different energy sources available in Wonder Space, right? This specific energy source looks like it is made from kind of like elementals. That is like one of the things that they are used to fuel ships sometimes, the same magic that would conjure a fire elemental of some sorts. The will-o-wisps are kind of the powering source here on this hearse. So you do see that you go down to kind of like the bottom of the ship, and you see where it's like a big, almost like a ship in a bottle style of glass bottle filled with will-o-wisps. Fuel, you look like you're okay. It looks like these things are going to last for some time, and it's almost like a self-refilling thing. They just need time to rest and kind of like hang out, and then they will refill.
Like
It's kind of bleak.
Yeah.
We're just like siphoning their life force to power our ship.
Yeah, no, it's cool. They'll no, it's fine.
Look at the cold fusion.
Yeah. Something you do notice, though, there is basically a device called a space compressor that goes on each spell jamming ship. This compressor is what kind of, in the highest level sci-fi mumbo jumbo way, it lets you traverse through the energies of Wonder Space. Your space compressor is completely fucked up. Like, you would not be able to go faster than a crawl at this point with the ship, and this is not something that is like readily available for parts.
Okay, I return to the group and I go, well, I'm just a humble dairy farmer, but I believe this contraption right here is known as a space compressor. I don't know how I know that, but I do, and ours is completely Jimmy jacked up. But we're doing okay on fuel, by the way.
When you say Jimmy Jack, Luke comes out. He goes, "Sir, that was one of the names. Is that me? You've called me Jimmy Jack before." It was,
Yeah, you can stick around with me.
oh
You're hired.
no, I've been here. Can I come out of the bag?
Maybe next quarter.
Wow, that's okay. Cool. Gets back in the bag. This is not like a magic bag either. It's fully like, it's very easy to
I
tell.
yell into it like it's magic. But your performance review has been good so far.
He is maybe 8 inches away from you.
So our ship is just kind of lazily meandering through dump space right now.
You can pretty much like, you can move a little bit, but you're not going to be able to go quick. And the only real source of light you see is kind of that almost like crack that is way ahead of you.
Well, gentlemen, I think the only way through is that blinking light over there, if I were to guess.
As a cartographer, would I know that we are not in Wonder Space?
This is an Arcana check, and you can go ahead and roll with advantage.
And I'm going to give guidance.
To see
I'm
if
gonna give him bardic
to see if you're
inspiration too.
lying. Oh.
No, you get a D4.
No, you get a D4 to add.
Well, it's-
Oh, what?
dude, I think I've rolled 1 on the D4 every time. 26.
26. Okay.
Dude, what?
The result of this check won't even be like, hey, am I in Dumpspace? You know you are. Like, there are very few, if any, reports of what Dumpspace actually looks like because people do not leave it. Like, it is like a, hey, you go here. So basically all the info you have is from Wonder Incorporated. Like,
But I can know it's not Wonder Space.
absolutely. You know you are not anywhere that you recognize this is not Wonder Space.
I've been around.
Yeah. You've 100% been around. So you know that this is from your kind of results. Neville, do you have anything to share with the class?
No, he just wants to call him a slut.
Yeah, I've been around, dude.
Yeah, totally fine. You know you are not in Kansas anymore. Like, this is definitely Dumpspace. With the 26 too, you also know, I think the big thing there is kind of people do not leave. Like, that is not something that has been documented ever. There is no one that has come back and been like, I have left Dumpspace and like emerged in Wonder Space before. Like, maybe people that are like on the very edge of what is denoted as Dumpspace, Wonder Space, but it is not something you really come back from.
He starts hyperventilating with the realization.
Yeah, boys, unfortunately, I think we're marooned here. Like, this is not good. And I'm pretty sure we're not in the trial anymore. Judging by the pre-recorded video that we saw.
Ooh,
as
he's
well.
challenging your authority.
Sometimes they like to throw curveballs, inside of these adventuring exams and, training protocols. And, let me I'm going to read up in my book a little bit just to see what it says about, what to do in these situations. And I start turning and walking towards like a corner of the ship, and I'm flipping through pages, and I'll be back in like a minute, which is 60 seconds.
In world and out.
You told us about the engine being.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we're not going anywhere, fellas.
I mean,
Nowhere quick.
I can mend.
This guy's a mender.
I can also.
Would any of us have any expertise in fixing space compressors?
You guys tell me. I would say the closest I would
Probably.
give Dormir and TBD kind of the best shot at that. Dormir being an artificer, and then TBD being just
Garbage.
a robot. Garbage. Yeah.
Hey, garbage man!
I would be offended, but it is true.
So if anyone had a good crack at this, it'd be them too.
We both have mending. I have Tinker's tools.
Ooh.
So I say I'll head down to the engine,
Yeah, by all means.
and I'm gonna go ahead and.
I'll go down and supervise.
While they're doing that, I will pull Spinley aside.
I can make a bunch of kind of random. They're kind of like household parts, I guess, but it might help.
Household is definitely space travel.
That counts. Yeah. It's available at
Just to wing it.
Dumpspace Depot.
Yeah. If
I'll
that-
say
Kleenex and
Greg is going to go
Clorox.
look if there's rations aboard.
Yeah, by all means. So resolve a few things here. So you guys, either both of you can make one or one of you can make with advantage. This will be an intelligence check. Add your proficiency with Tinker's tools, whatnot.
I should probably know
Yeah, you got it.
that. Want to give me guidance?
Yeah.
Guide me.
Is guidance a cantrip?
Yep.
It is a
Oh,
cantrip.
that's fucking broken.
Extra D4.
What? It's just a flat intelligence.
Yeah, but add your proficiency bonus because you're proficient in Tinker's tools.
What is my
3.
proficiency? Oh.
2, you're level 4.
All right.
Oh,
We're looking at initiative. Dude, you really are rolling just once.
It's still pretty good though. It's 18.
18. Spending some time with it, the help of TBD. You guys have jerry-rigged this equipment probably many a time before. Probably members of APE, they probably have experienced being shipwrecked of some sorts in the past. You can create things. It would take some time, probably a couple hours of work, but you could get to a point where you are moving a little quicker, but you cannot make any long fixes. You'll definitely need to stop somewhere quickly. You said you were going to pull Spinley aside.
Yeah. I pull Spinley aside.
Your egg, sir.
Spinley, I know from your report that you kind of came from the dumping department. Could this
Best
be
in the business, sir.
best in the business? I know that's why they sent you.
Violent ones,
expertise.
non-bloody
Oh,
ones.
good. Oh, great.
Ones with nuts.
So,
Ones with posts.
so what you're
Like dumb clarity.
what you're saying is that, ow, my leg is cramping. So what you're saying is maybe you have some indication as to what's going on here. Was Bovinia on a dump list?
Bovinia was on a list, sir. That I wanted to investigate in person, which is why I'm here. And I look at him like I'm a little bit important.
I want an insight
But-
check.
Go for it.
If he's important or not? Is that going to determine what you say next?
16.
16. He's not lying. Like
Okay.
it does seem like he is pretty serious about having a lot of input on.
Okay.
And I lean in and I say, I know how the game went last night.
Oh, I wasn't able to catch it. Was it
was a
good?
nail biter.
That's
Your intern sticks his
that's really good.
Yeah.
I feel the sudden need to like maybe drink some water or something. Okay.
As that happens, you do notice there is a water cooler in the rations desk that you can like wheel around.
Hey, there's water over here if anyone wants to drink water right at this moment.
Oh, great. I'll be right down, Greg. Thank you.
But it's only like the cone-shaped cups, so not the ones that you can sit down.
Might as well not bother. I'd rather die.
Okay.
Bovinia was on a list for dumping. I wanted to investigate in person, which is why I'm here.
So then why would they elect to conduct an adventuring exam?
And I will point out that codex that populates magically, it is the thing that details why. Like it is not like it is a magically spawned thing when dumping occurs.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, didn't that line guy tell us straight up we got dumped?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
It seems like it was a profitable planet. I'm not sure why.
This has got to be a mistake, though. Why would they dump a planet that is profiting them? Well, I guess the big guy, mentioned that it wasn't, that profitable. But we're conducting exams.
Oat milk's on the
planet.
rise.
Oat milk is on the rise. What?
Are you saying that from the kitchen, like from the commissary?
I'm saying that really sad.
Okay, Spinley. I think we just this has got to be a mistake. They wouldn't do something like that. Definitely not to some other, us as Wonder Inc. employees. We just, maybe this is part of the exam. I'm confiding in you here. We're in unwritten territory here. So
I'm
Don't
sure
tell
there's
anyone
I'm sure
else.
there's a reason.
I'm
but
also super important.
You want to roll
kinda
inside on that one?
narrow my eyes a little bit.
Totally fair.
It's only fair.
Now one?
No, it's a 16 plus 23.
23? Nah.
It just feels like the scene from freaking American Psycho with the, the cards and they're handing them to each other.
Bone. Bone on ivory. We're gonna knit with like you get so much class.
Okay, I am super important.
No.
Very.
Guys,
I nod politely
Okay.
and
okay.
I say I've been looking at the numbers pretty much every way you add it up. I don't know why this happened.
Okay.
And
okay. Yeah, because they wouldn't do that to us, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either. There's no way. All right, let's get back to the crew. I feel a little bit better now. It has to be a mistake.
Honestly, any universe where Bovinia is, aka milk production for the whole galaxy, I'm in. That's the place I want to be.
It's become this running theme that everyone is like real stoked on milk, but no one's really said why. Like Greg is a farmer. I get
It
him.
goes without saying. If you know, you know.
This is
Finley
Odyssey.
bought one of those like Groucho Marx glasses, but it has a milk mustache.
Greg, you were kind of down in the commissary, right? You're looking for rations. It's a weird like. This is a hearse, right? So it is a very.
I'm looking for rations for you, boy.
It is a really weird like it's not lost on you. You go down and there is like a large room that you open up, kind of like the back doors, and it is half like the commissary and the kitchen, and it looks like pretty well stocked. Dried meats, rations, things that would last a long voyage, right? On the
just remind me, is this the ship that we were supposed to get on?
Yes.
Okay.
So you were supposed to get on this ship and chase them on the other ship, but then they just tried hijacking this ship for you.
Right.
So you're on the Hearst of Deliverance. In this room, the kitchen is in one half and it looks like pretty well stocked, even with like spices and things. The other half, there are empty coffins. Like it looks like when they transport dead bodies in this thing, they're transporting it in the same room they are making food.
Oh my god.
Are there? I don't know how to do this, I guess. But are there booze on this ship?
Booze?
Yeah. Is there any alcohol whatsoever?
Oh yeah, I think Greg finds some for sure. There's definitely some rum.
Frank has left me and is wandering in the commissary and is in like it's like the scene from Lilo and Stitch where she like walks in and Stitch is like in the fridge and like kicks it closed. Like that's Frank right now looking for the alcohol.
Yeah, you get down to the commissary and there's like just a jug. And it opens up and you see this space rabbit made of like blue jelly pops up and is like big thumbs up.
Sick.
I'm gonna collect him.
Yeah. You guys are killing it on this compressor, I can really tell. But what are we gonna do with the whole I don't know, cognitive dissonance that's going on with the entire Wonder Inc. crew over there?
I don't really know. It's incredibly clear that we are not.
We're not in this. We're definitely not in the test anymore.
They're fully just discussing.
Let's not lose our heads. There's clearly one direction we can go right now. The blinking white light must be the way out, right?
I mean, sure.
How clear? Like, how far is it when we're looking at it? Like, how far away is the light?
You think at the speed you're moving, like once you get the compressor back up and running, maybe like an hour's ride.
Is Dumpspace like real space where if you get out you instantly die?
You don't really know.
So we're still within the protective.
You're still within the protective field.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna look for a
Stick
way.
his face out of the ship.
I'm gonna look for a way to maybe throw a rock at the white light.
What?
Investigate if there's an opening that I can get out of.
Do a spacewalk.
It is space. I'm going to
Okay,
point
so
that
it
out.
is like insta death.
You don't know. You are certainly welcome to try.
So
Look at Tian's
tempted.
eyes.
I would say for podcast narrative purposes, I'd really prefer you don't.
That's why I'm
Make a
asking you.
DC-1 intelligence check to see if space will kill him.
Well, it's dump space, okay? There's a difference.
I'll look down to you and ask, do you have a map for this?
For
Can you make
this
one?
place?
Do you know anything about this? Do I know anything
I
about
don't-
this actually? With my map?
You don't. No, these are not charted territories.
We can probably make one as we go.
Interesting.
There's nothing else we can see besides this blinding, like this flashing white light, right?
Make a perception check for me.
Perception. 13. What do you add to it?
Perception.
It's a wisdom check.
Oh, it's a wisdom. Okay, so 15.
15. Okay,
Yeah.
with a 15, no details you can particularly make out, but as you are looking out from the ship, you swear that kind of weaving through a lot of these asteroids, or just kind of like on the horizon, there are shadows and shapes of, maybe one of them was like very serpentine. You see others just kind of look like almost like something with a lot of legs moving
How
around.
big?
Large,
Okay.
like the size of your ship and then some.
Well, fellas, we could either choose the flashing white light, or we could choose the gargantuan monsters in the dark. What do you guys think?
I feel like it's going to be a little column A, a little column B.
Let's head that way. If we can get there, let's get there.
Would I know something about the concept of like spell jamming, like of putting spells into a ship to make it go faster? Like, if we're just kind of slowly drifting towards this white light,
So
and I want to kind of speed up.
You won't even need to make a check for this, just because we kind of talked a little bit about the different energy sources.
Yeah.
That specific style of spell jamming, at least in Wonder Space, Dumpspace, is one of the sources of energy. This is an elementally driven ship, so what that means is the resource is pretty much renewable, but you need to give them time to rest, and then they kind of regenerate their energy, and they're good. Helms that require spells, you can kind of fly them as you are able, but you do need to every 24 hours pour a spell slot into them.
I see.
So this is more like you could travel for probably a week at a time straight then you have to rest for a day,
Yeah.
week at a time straight, so on and so forth. With spell jamming, you can keep doing it as long as you're putting spell slots in. All right.
So we can head to the light, right?
Did you guys fix the engine?
At this point, I'd say it's been a couple hours. The compressor is just about where it can get with your capabilities. So the ship itself can move a little bit quicker, but like I said, longer repairs, you'll need some time.
About that. Yeah.
Incredible. I understood everything about that. Let's press forward, guys. Surely on to the next portion of this exam.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I am starting to distrust you guys. Whoever is saying that we're still fine, I'm just like, what? Why are we still?
He's coping. His whole
Why are we
world
still
crumbled.
saying this?
Yeah, also looking at you and be like, did Ape want us to be dumped?
I don't. I maybe wrong place, wrong time. But,
Let me tell you about being dumped at the wrong place. This is why you don't see it coming. It hurts. You just gotta fucking deal with it, okay?
Frank is mimicking his hand movements with a bottle of rum in his hand.
Are there any clothes in here as well?
As you're looking around, okay, so yes, but they're all
It's only tuxes.
it's
for,
yeah, it's like
people in
tuxes, like
caskets.
pitch, it's like morning clothes, like
I will put a tie on.
yeah, okay, easy enough. All right, so Greg at the helm, sounds like,
Uh-huh.
and you go forward. Something you notice pretty quickly as you're going through and navigating. One, the path you're on, you have to do some, like, you do basically a spotlight on the front of the ship, and as you're moving, lots of debris that you kind of have to weave through. You're not moving quickly enough for it to be really a threat. The ship is moving slower than you expected to. Like, even like kind of checking in with you two who have repaired the ship, you're like, no, like for all intents and purposes, this compressor should be moving as quickly. It's not. And it takes you about what you thought would be about an hour's travel. Eventually gets to about 2 hours when you finally go towards that kind of crack of light. And as it gets a little bit more in your view, you see it's a planet. And there is some more light, like kind of like ambient light around it, so you can see like kind of a greater outline.
He's got like an aura.
A little bit, yeah. It's a deep violet planet, and you see that crack of light, it looks like it was almost like a crevice, like a canyon split in the center of the planet. So it's not separated, but it's cracked open like an egg almost, with glowing cyan light vroom, 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 sticking out of it. And as this is happening, and you know this is kind of the nature of codexes, at this point, Spinley, a new golden book materializes in your hand. And as you're looking, it says Evergent, Evergent. And around this planet, like I said, glowing blue aura that's kind of illuminating the space here. You can navigate a little bit more. Still some debris and stuff, but you can see the planet. And you now have the codex for it.
I drop Evergent into my satchel bag and I yell into the bag, light reading.
Got it. You see the intern kind of reads it, and then Lou kind of jumps out.
How close are we to the planet now?
It's like within, like you can see it, but for what
We're
purpose?
not in the atmosphere or anything like that?
No,
We're
you don't
still
have to be.
ways
Yeah,
off?
you are not like caught in the atmosphere.
Okay.
You can get there, but
We're just outside orbit.
just outside orbit. Yeah.
Does it look like corporeal, or is it kind of like ethereal looking, the planet itself?
The planet looks fine. It looks
Okay.
pretty solid. The area around, there's
It's
some like,
just that there's a light.
it's like a bioluminescence almost. Yeah.
gotcha.
And then Lou actually gets out after a few minutes, and he goes, "Wow, that's a doozy, Cap." And he kind of hands you the codex, and he says, "Yeah, it looks like this planet's Evergent. It originated as a planet with something called negative space, basically a magic energy that fuels a lot of these planets. The experiment here, the goal was to overflow the planet with this self-renewing resource and then test out how long it would take the people of this planet to develop, public works projects that power everything in everyone's lives and unite against this force and be able to energize anything they needed on the planet." And it was led by the volunteer science organization. There was the god of this planet, because if you remember, when a planet is gifted planethood, whoever pitched the idea to Wonder Incorporated, they become the god. This is a man known as Dr. Axiom. Dr. Axiom began the research, and the reason it was dumped is within a few weeks of researching this renewable energy source, he discovered it would be an excellent drug And he instead got into drug production and started dealing drugs to everybody while doing the research. And nobody united against trying to find this eternal battery and great plants and things. They realized, oh, we have this naturally renewing drug source. Let's do it.
Frank is climbing on Lou and is like reading over his shoulder and is just like hitting his head.
We gotta go. Yeah. So the planet was dumped because the idea that the people of the planet would unite against this common force to want to create something that is for the greater good. They're like, nah, we're just gonna use it to make drugs and sell them.
No bueno.
That's where you're at.
Frank has just climbed back on me and is just like directing me towards the helm. Like he's like forcing me
Take
to,
the
like,
wheel, yeah.
go forward as quick as possible.
I turn to the group and I go, land ho, gentlemen. Well, what do we want to do?
Stanley, where'd you get that book from?
I look down, it's in my hand. I kind of just appeared.
Is it the same as the other book? The one that we got when
Same as the Bovania one, yeah. I don't know.
Do you usually get books like this?
I sometimes just black in and out when I'm working. And
He enters a flow state.
I'm
It's really
asking, is it
marvelous.
like a two-way communication? Like, is it coming from your HR department, and then maybe we can send a message back saying, "Hey,
Oh, hijack the wormhole.
come get us." Well, I don't know what wormholes used to give him magical books.
When you say hijack the wormhole, Frank is like, ah! You think that saying's cool as hell? He's like,
I thought we were on the same page here.
Yeah, I mean, we're not on the same page.
I could check in with my superior about it. One thing that I will say is if we're actually in Dumpspace, half of my planet is in Dumpspace, so we might be kind of close to my home planet. We might have a direct in to talking with some folks that are on the Wonder Space side and get us all back where we need to be.
Does your home planet happen to be and I point to the thrumming one in front of us. Yeah.
The one with all the drugs?
Yeah. Wait, what? I didn't know about any drugs.
Wait, there's drugs?
Wait, which?
Oh, did you say that to the group? I thought you guys had like a
no,
plan.
Lou said it out loud to everybody.
Oh,
Everyone's
yeah.
aware. It's like TN reading group chats in real life.
Yeah, let's.
I say to Lou, like on the other side, I think he's in ARC.
Yeah, you lean in. You're like, tell me about the drugs on that planet.
Let's press forward, gang. On to the next portion of the exam.
All right, well, you might experience a little turbulence as we land. And I start to land us. That's what landing looks like.
Greg, where'd you learn how to land so?
I don't know. From a past life, maybe.
You guys descend into the planet's atmosphere, right? And as you go down, there's it's once again kind of strikingly beautiful. There is a bioluminescence coming off of the whole planet. It's a very thick forested planet with also like large purple mountains and plateaus and different canyons and things, thick brush and trees and very tall trees, like way taller than you would expect. You're able to kind of find an opening here, almost a path, and you're going parallel with that rip in the planet. And that rip in the planet you see is glowing blue, almost like an Aurora Borealis style thing, but glowing from the ground. And you are able to land on top of this flat purple plateau. And, the ship itself just kind of descends very easily. You're able to disembark. And at this point, you do not need the planet itself with wildlife obviously has atmosphere, so you're able to pretty easily kind of like the panels come off and you guys are able to breathe here.
See that classic thing where you take a big like huff and then you like wait a little bit, you get a little bit more, and then just cough.
It's like way too clean for you.
Yeah.
And you guys land and like looking around the biome itself, there's the plants here look fucking huge. Like there's vines and flowers and different flora and fauna that are like way overgrown. Looks pretty Avatar-y. The trees themselves are more like cedar trees or like pines that are like very tall. And then kind of going through when you are on top of this plateau, you see that there's kind of two different directions that you can go, and there's paths on each from here. It looks like this is not, just looking at kind of the imprints on the plateau, it's pretty large. It looks like you're not the first ship that has landed here specifically. No ships here right now, but it looks like it's kind of like a landing pad almost. To the west, there is basically a pretty craggy mountain that has a path going up to it. And at the top of this looks like it's this white a facility, like a large, there's large silos, there's smoke coming out of it. It looks almost like a factory style of thing at the top of this mountain. And then to the east, going down, it looks like it goes down more into a canyon, and you see that there is like an outpost that has been put together. You see it's pretty hastily, like shoddily put together. You see there's sheet metal and things put together, but it's like kind of like bustling. There's lights and electricity and power. So there is life on this planet going through here. And as you kind of like look in the air, there's like different creatures and stuff, like large winged creatures, reptilian almost, that are flying through. And there's just like a lot going on here. So you have now landed.
All right, so maybe down in the canyon is like a mining operation for that negative energy or something, and then maybe up is like a lab of some kind?
Meth lab.
Meth lab,
That's
yeah.
for sure, meth lab.
Well,
Frank is listening to this and he's just like, he's like, either way. He's weighing the options. He's like, sounds good. I'm over here listening. I'm grabbing the trees and I'm like listening to the trees as if I can hear anything from them.
Yeah.
I don't, but I still do it as if I could.
So we're seeing that the facility actively has like smoke coming out of it, and it's active.
Yes.
It's not
it is,
abandoned.
no, it is an active facility.
Okay.
Should we go where the people are?
Wait, I mean, before we leave, we do have coffins and Carl's dead body. Should we bury him?
I'd also like
Carl
to do a
the
burial
robot?
for.
Yeah.
I think we should give all robots proper burials.
What do you mean, a robot?
I also have to mourn my 96 cow wives that died.
We don't know that.
They're still
We don't know
out
they're
there
dead.
No, they're dead.
You can feel it.
I can feel it.
There's something missing in my heart.
Should we make a plan? I mean, we're on this hearse ship. We could have one person be, have some kind of legendary name known across Dumpspace. Say, like, the Death Maker, and then we're all in coffins. And the Death Maker rolls us all up in the coffins to the lab. And,
You mean like we're in disguise?
Yeah, disguise.
Why would they let in a bunch of
I like the way you're thinking, man.
This is real creative. I think I can get behind
Who
this.
amongst us looks like they could play the role of the what? What was it?
Death Maker? Or
Death Maker?
What kind of solicitation is this?
Blue Sky.
You see Lou like raises his hand for volunteering. 2.5 feet tall.
But why would they need the Death Maker? I'm not opposed to this plan. I just like, what's
I'm
my
opposed to this
motivation?
Wonderful character.
I think there are several elements of this plan that we should look at. One being, what is our objective for,
Yeah, that's a good question. What is our objective?
that's for us to discuss as a team here. I can't just give you all the answers to the exam,
To make new friends.
Okay.
Compressor. And then Frank whispers to me, says a little something to me like, and the drugs.
Okay.
Cocaine.
Compressor and drugs.
And we want the compressor to go back to Wonder Space. Is that right?
I just had a thought. Okay.
What is it?
Our ship
Vapor breath.
Guys are like, I love milk. Carry on.
Milk is so sick. Okay, we're I can't think of the word.
Cool.
Oh, what is it? We're
Handsome.
doing something that's unethical. Unethically harvesting energy from
You
these
couldn't remember the
elementals.
word for unethical?
I can only remember ethical.
That's how good of an eye.
Unethical isn't even in my vocabulary, bro.
Ethical.
Chris is over here like, use that word for something wrong. I
It's
wouldn't
like
know.
ethical, but not, dude.
It doesn't surprise me that you lot would be the ones that knew the word unethical.
Thanks
Huh?
for filling me in. You guys have shown your true colors.
Okay, so what's this plan?
Wait, so
it's
we're
a
the
long-term
unethical ones?
plan. Oh no, you didn't say unethical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's unethical in this?
I don't, whoever just said it to me and made me remember
Sure,
the
for
word.
sure. Could you
Okay.
Anyway,
You had a thought.
quit distracting me, okay? I had a thought.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're unethically harvesting energy from these elementals.
Mm.
What if we use the crack cocaine on this planet
To give
to
them
power
energy.
our ship instead.
Now that's a great use of resources.
Oh, wait,
Tweaking.
Christian was saying the whole time he wants to double down on the unethical. Okay.
Wait,
No, there are people
Are
using
you trying
this crack
to
cocaine
give the elementals the crack cocaine?
to release them.
Oh, okay. I don't think that's how crack cocaine works.
You want to run our ship on crack cocaine? Oh, on the energy
Yep,
source.
No, that's correct. Yeah.
I see.
It'd be so funny if it works.
It's like
I mean-
it was supposed to be an infinite power source. So
Hey, you're the.
That's right.
You're the.
Oh,
tinker
damn, you're
guy.
right.
Yeah,
You say
this
the word.
is,
I'll
this
trust
is
you.
an excellent idea.
thanks.
I'm
So
gonna
how
start
do you-
nodding
how
as
do
if
you
I've heard
right now, but
as if I've heard from the trees, and I'm like, power source.
How do you recommend we get in with the people that are making this power?
well, I imagine the lab is where the people of power are, and I imagine the village down there is maybe where the manual labor is being done.
Mm.
Uh,
So we could start a
we could
union.
unionize him.
We do know someone that's pretty good at managing unions.
Well, if I were to give my 2 cents, as a humble dairy farmer, how you deal with drug lords
69-time ex-husband.
is they speak money. Okay, and then I look at our corporate stooges over here. Would either of you gentlemen happen to have access to a corporate black card?
Corporate black card.
We could get their attention.
Oh, Amex Black, yeah.
Yeah.
We are sponsored by American
What is
Express.
my wallet? Yeah.
Space American Express.
I was gonna say,
Get off of us, copyright lawyers. Yeah.
No, we're not. But we could be.
Yes.
And that's the important
We are eager to be. Yes.
We need to catch their interest with some space dollars.
What if we pretend like we have lots of space dollars, but we don't?
All right, we all gonna have to get into these dead people tuxes.
Yeah.
That's
Now we're
one.
talking.
We all work
Now
Oh,
it's-
okay. I think we should just officially all go ahead and change into the tuxes.
So I think that's actually the perfect plan.
Okay.
No way this could fucking fail, dude.
I get the drugs. Yeah,
Tuxes up the mountain.
I think this is the makings of a great plan.
Okay.
Tuxes up the mountain.
All right. So everyone's going to. All right. Everyone puts on dead people tuxes.
Yeah.
Mine's like short. Ours are like probably too small. on us.
We're bulging out of mine.
Yeah. You like bobby pin together like 2 dead people tuxes.
Frank's in one that's like too big for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So everyone's in dead people tuxes. Glad that only took us 18 minutes to come to a conclusion of.
Also known as tuxes.
Yes.
You're the one who introduced it as dead people tuxes.
Just say it.
Where is the party heading then? Are you guys going to the facility itself, or are you going to?
Is this going to be a foot trek, or are we driving over there?
It'll be a foot trek.
Okay.
Seems
So let's go really slow. We cannot sweat, or
Yeah,
else
correct.
we lose status.
correct.
Okay. Take it real slow.
I don't think we put lower class sweat.
You see, Lou pulls out a Wonder
sweating
Incorporated
pore?
handbook, and it says, actually, yeah, it does say in the handbook policy is if you sweat your pores, so you need to maintain the air conditioning on at all times.
What about those of us who don't sweat?
I raise my hand as well. Yeah.
I got a job for you.
You got the makings of management, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
All right,
All
so
right, we march forward in our tuxes
up the mountain.
up the mountain.
Awesome.
But instead
Okay.
of walking, we take our company-issued Halo-S Warthog out of the
No, there are no surprise warthogs.
Master Chief!
Yeah, we are. This is a Halo crossover podcast. Yeah, we do have the rights to Master Chief. So.
I'm in the turret.
All right. With a distinct lack of Master Chief, you guys continue your trek up the mountain. Who would be leading the charge here? Who's in front?
I'll be in front.
Okay,
I'll be behind him, right behind him.
easy money. You guys are.
I'm like fearless and like a brain damage guy.
I too would be up front. We're all up front.
You're walking single file, all 6 of you.
We're walking horizontally through the jungle. like we're entourage.
You guys are going up to the facility, snapping as you're walking up.
Lou, like macheteing in front of us.
Absolutely, yeah. Lou is machete in front of you, the intern. Everybody, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Ooh. Is this a nat 1 or a nat 20?
That's a nat 20.
Nat 20.
That's a nat 20,
Nice.
baby.
Tim's like, I rolled a 4.
Okay, it was next to the barrel.
No, just, for future reference.
What are we getting?
14.
15.
24.
Nat 20.
27.
Awesome.
Love it.
The 20s are getting this pretty easily. Lou, cutting through some of the foliage and stuff, going through. You eventually get to like the mountain itself, where there's not a ton of like thick foliage there. You can kind of walk up the side, the spiral, up the mountain. Those are the 20s. You kind of look out into the horizon and you see walking through the forest. You see peeking out. First, there's 1, 2, then about 4 or 5. A very like slick green, serpentine almost like long head. It's this massive creature, kind of poking its heads through the trees.
Who rolled 20s?
There's multiple of them.
I did.
I
We got a
look at him
handful.
and I go, we're fucked.
They're not looking at you guys. They're just kind of traversing. And you see them kind of like walk through. And as they get to the clearings, they're super long necks on these large, like rhinoceros style bodies with really long tails going through. And then you notice a few more of those flying creatures that are going around the mountain as well. This is a planet.
Are they wearing tuxes?
They're not wearing tuxes, no. Every single one of them. There's bow ties on the really long necks.
Gentlemen, they're poor.
Yeah, they are sweaty.
Sweaty.
They are sweaty, poor. This is a planet of dinosaurs. As you guys are walking up the mountain, and you see that they're just kind of existing here. Those flying creatures were pterodactyls and stuff that are kind of orbiting the mountain itself as well. But the really interesting thing is when you're watching the creatures kind of like step on the grass, behind them, almost like a bioluminescent beach when you move your feet and there's still that flash of light that follows. That is happening with them as they walk through the forest. You guys look down and it's happening with your feet too. So it looks like whatever this glowing energy is really is like very present in this planet. Probably a couple hours walk, hike up the mountain, but you eventually get to the top, maintaining a slow enough pace to, not
we're
be
all in
sweaty.
front. Yeah,
Yeah, Brin, you might be a little damp, just a little, dab
Do
a little bit.
dinosaurs not have any interest in us at all?
No,
Okay.
they completely ignored you guys. And you
But
get to
they
the top.
noticed us.
Not really. No, you guys noticed them as you were like they were like in the distance, like walking through the forest while you guys were going up the mountain. You get to the top of the mountain, and here you see, like I said, it is a facility. Lots of plexiglass, and it's like plaster and white marble and things. Looks like hospital-esque almost. And it is volunteer science department, basically, is what is plastered on the top. And you see there's like a decent amount of people that are like wearing scrubs and masks and rubber gloves that are running back and forth across like these walkways and hallways and things going in and out of different buildings. So it's like, it's active here. There's a lot of stuff going on. As you guys are snapping up to the front. And as this happens, you actually see approaching you is one of those people that is basically like in scrubs and rubber gloves. And he comes up and you see it's a tiefling guy. So he's basically got blue skin, ram horns, things like that. He actually takes his mask down and he goes, "Wow, we haven't had visitors come up to the facility in a while. What are you guys here for?"
One drug, please.
We're here to see the doctor.
You're
Sorry, ignore our robot. He's malfunctioning.
No, okay. I mean,
The doctor.
Does this
We're
look
here
like
to
a thriving operation? Like they have a lot of people working. There's
It
a lot
does,
of
yeah.
product being made.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. He goes, I mean, are you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I
I'm
surmised
sorry.
through that
One
they-
compressor, please, and one drug.
He goes, I don't know what the first one is, but I mean, for drugs, are you here for, look, you're not the first people that have come up and asked for drugs, right? If you're here for pharmaceutical
I don't
reasons.
look at us.
No?
I also do not want drugs. Thank you.
Nothing?
No,
Okay.
we're here. It's business transactions. We don't need to do the drugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just a humble dairy farmer. But I
Some
do
of us
have a
apparently
very
will be
sophisticated drug empire running here. Would you happen to be distributing into Wonder Space?
I don't know if that's where any of our stuff ends up making it. I wouldn't be surprised.
But there's no possible way you're supplying this many drugs just to Dumpspace, right?
No, not at all. No, we make enough to ship back down to the Outpost Myron. You might have seen it kind of down the way. That is Miron for anyone curious. Outpost Myron.
Miron.
So am I gathering from this that they have a way out of Dumpspace?
He says he doesn't know. So he goes, actually, he does clarify that. He goes, we don't have anyone that gets out of Dumpspace. We distribute this in Dumpspace for sure. It helps a lot of people. We think it's a good pharmaceutical operation. Plus, I mean, the people in Myron obviously have their own ways to be exploring this drug. They use it for their own purposes, but it is a good kind of cure-all. So it's, we're hoping that it's getting out to the people that need it the most.
Can we talk to your head of distribution?
It's all kind of run by Dr. Axiom. He's a busy guy. I can try. What is the kind of business need here?
Well,
Dude, my charisma's so high. Let me hit it.
No, it's not.
Let me hit it.
Yeah, we mainly want to talk to Dr. Axiom to figure out what kind of business we can.
I think
kind of
surely
join
we can
to.
help with like distribution.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Distributors.
Yeah, we're very
Wow.
wealthy.
Yeah,
Look at
really.
us tell by how we look.
I mean, none of you are sweating, so I mean, it looks like that you made, the trip with ease. So okay, I mean, hey, we're always looking for, new distribution branches. So I think it's a great idea. So let me talk to him. We can kind of bring you into the waiting room here, as you can kind of explore. Did you want me to ask about that compressor? I don't know if I.
I
I'm
kind of
sure.
peer around to everybody. Well, yes.
Okay,
I'm interested in
ship parts, I assume,
And
right?
then Frank
Yes.
taps me, and I'm like, and a sample of your finest.
Right. No, that's fine. So we can here. You can here. You can come into the waiting room. And he kind of leads you into like the main building. He says, "Just wait here. I can get you an appointment with Mr. Axiom." And you guys enter.
Mr. Axiom.
Doctor, Mr. Either or. So he's has credentials. That's
Immediately his status goes down.
yeah. It's a gaff on my part.
Wait, so he's cool with being called Mr. Axiom?
Absolutely not. No,
Okay.
you should refer to him as Doctor.
And he wouldn't like it if we talked to him and we told him that you called him Mr. Axiom, right?
No, he probably wouldn't be too fond
just
of it,
curious,
but
yeah.
not from like a blackmailing perspective, which really leads me to question your intentions here. But
No, we're too rich for that. We
Trying to get the
can't.
lay of the land here.
yeah,
You're a small fish, okay?
Whoa.
he's
According to
like,
Dr.
Of
Axel.
course you'd say that.
That's a compliment on his part.
yeah. All right, cool.
Actually,
Smaller than
Dr.
fish.
Axiom.
He's from a planet of really tiny fish.
Yeah.
And small is relatively pretty big.
That makes me feel a lot better. You would. Huh. All right, fine.
Probably well off.
You want to ask questions.
I have so much money. It's hilarious. He brings you into the main lobby of this building, and it's basically like a typical like corporate waiting room style of thing. And he goes and he hands you, just you TBD, he hands you a card. And it says, Dr. Edwin. And he kind of hands you the card. And he says, I understand you were looking for samples. We have some over-the-counter things that could be useful for some ailments, which I'm fine bringing out some samples of if you were interested in partaking. Supplements, things. I don't get a kickback from any of them. I just really think they're good products.
Dude, they have drug reps out here.
I'm just nodding along. Frank goes down, takes the card, shakes the man's hand vigorously.
Right. Edwin basically, shakes your hand. And like pretty quickly after you guys walk in, there's another group of folks and scrubs that bring out a tray of things. And they are small bottles. And he goes, you guys seem new here. I'm basically going to give you the rundown. You're going to hear people talk about sludge. That is the non-refined version of this that they use down in Outpost Myron, and people are able to kind of mine from the natural resources here and dish out as a drug with specific magical qualities. As you go down there, you'll see things like the soldiers use it. Anyone that is kind of people stop by through here and purchase some if they're going on any particularly dangerous adventures, things like that. We have been able to refine the drug ourselves. So not only does it give you some vim and vigor, it also will give you kind of the benefits of those magical qualities at a reduced capacity, but less dangerous. And there is a red bottle, a green bottle, a blue bottle, and a purple bottle. And he goes, tell me, how do you, we're all in Dumpspace. We know the nature of the beast. How do you fight? What is your preferred method of combat? You all look pretty rough and tumble, so I know, don't try telling me you're not combatant folks.
We're wearing tuxes.
You're like your bicep rips one.
I meant it.
Well, I myself am a caster, a spellcaster of sorts. Some would say, a druid.
Ah,
I look
okay.
at Frank, and Frank's just like,
Yeah. He goes, try, and he takes the green bottle, and he hands it to you. He goes, there's a single dose in a bottle. You can just kind of down it like an energy shot. This is called Tree of Life. It is our green refined drug.
It's naked juice.
Green machine.
Yeah, green machine. That's what they're calling it. Green machine. Yeah. This is green machine. It gives you
Jamba juice.
like I said, it makes you a little more it generally lasts the course of 8 hours, and will give you a little bit of more hardiness. I think useful. I think even useful now. So if you wanted to try some here and just kind of let me know the effects, would be interested to hear.
absentmindedly, I don't even think about Frank. And I just take it, like, not even thinking of it as drugs, just thinking of it as, like, a really nice guy just offered me something.
Yeah.
And I just...
You just down it.
Yeah, I take it. Frank is like...
He's going for it?
He's like, no!
And he was very good. And then they take the tray away.
Wait, I wanted to try
There's a
the
pile of garbage.
mango
Drink
or go-go.
It goes down, and it gets in the gears, and it goes...
Yeah.
And he goes, which one did you want to try? I'm sorry. This is available to anyone that wants to try some.
What are the other ones?
There's red, there's blue, and there's purple.
I don't like those colors.
For my dubious past, would I know if any of these drugs have a side effect that's negative?
From what he has detailed to you, you're not experienced with this particular drug. From what he has detailed to you, they refine it to where there's no negative side effects.
Okay.
So there's red and there's blue and there's
Okay.
purple if anyone else wants to try any.
Go for it. It's all fun.
What's the red one?
That one is called Ogre Strength.
Oh.
And the purple one?
That's called the Mind.
Oh. And what is it?
Blue.
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 That one is called Blubberfly. It's a fun one.
Oh.
Did I try the?
If you don't
blue one?
if you don't take one quick, I think Frank will take one off the tray.
You'd like to try the blue one?
I'd like to try the blue one.
Spindley, he gives you the blue one. Blubberfly,
I'll try the mine.
he gives you the purple one.
Do I have
Does
to
anyone-
take it? Do I have to take it there, or can I?
He stares at you expectingly.
Okay. All right, I'll take it. Now.
Frank go up and like pull his side of his pants like a
Yeah.
little kid and just be like fully like
He hands Frank the red one. It's like, here we go.
Oh,
Okay.
Ogre strength?
Yes, the ogre strength.
So, effects of the refined drug here. So the purple, the mind, you get telepathy, and attack rolls have disadvantage against you.
Whoa.
That is the case for 8 hours. For Tree of Life, Green Machine, at the end of each round, you regain D12 hit points. You roll a D12.
Whoa.
That's
That's kind of broken.
D12. That's green.
Can I
for 46 hit points.
try to gather if this guy is posturing at all or like selling, like he's downplaying the side effects of this drug?
Go ahead and make insight.
Oh,
Detail.
I trip and fall as I get that.
Oh shit, 6. It seems on the straight and narrow to you. With blue, with Blubberfly, you get a swim speed and a fly speed equal to your movement speed.
Whoa.
For how long?
8 hours.
everything's
All,
8 hours.
all these effects are 8 hours.
Does he leave us with the vials or does he take the vials?
He takes the vials.
What was ogre strength?
Heaven.
You see Frank goes, "Rah," and he flexes. His strength goes up to 22.
he picks me up.
Yeah, he's like bench pressing you.
He's like, just hyped.
So Dr. Edwin goes, excellent. I mean, it seems the things are taking effect. Like I said, yes.
Can I grab one and try to cast Identify on it? But then I want to act like interested and then grab it and like swirl it around and be like, never mind. But having
So remember, Identify is a 10-minute spell, I think, right?
If I.
Yeah, I think that's ritually.
Oh, it's casting time 1 minute.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
You
So-
for 1 minute are swirling.
Yeah, I'm sniffing it
Yeah.
hard.
Do I see any tells that this guy is kind of jerking us around and maybe preparing an ambush?
Go ahead and roll insight.
12.
No, like this guy seems like he's not a super emotive guy. Like
Yeah.
he's a doctor, right? He's keeping it pretty straight face. But it doesn't seem like you're looking around. There's no like danger that you sense. So Edwin, he says, well, I appreciate your time, guys. I just spoke to Dr. Axiom. He actually said he's tied up today. He said you could come back maybe in the next day or two. He did send me this, and he kind of has another assistant of his walk up with kind of like a written note. He says he said he is open to new distribution lines. If you need ship parts, you can explore at Outpost Myron. That's generally where repairs go on, and you can come up here basically just before your departure. Give us details on where you plan to distribute, and we'll be able to give you some goods. And we'll see you here. These are kind of the terms of the contract. We see you every 3 months. You bring back your earnings, any leftover product. We give you any product that we think is new, could be used elsewhere, and we go from there.
Thanks. What is the what's the deal with the dinos?
Oh, with the obviously this is harnessed from the natural resource here on the planet, negative energy. Just with the immense amount of energy coming from the planet, you might even see some prehistoric fauna or flowers that come through. It's just kind of been, we've almost been locked in time a little bit. It is just kind of what has happened to the creatures around here. Even lizards are like things that come, like smaller creatures that they spend enough time on the planet, they end up growing to more gargantuan sizes too.
Are they consuming any runoff of these drugs?
I'm sure they are. It's probably difficult to eat anything naturally grown here without consuming some runoff.
So these could be, these creatures could have looked like him. And I pointed.
Whoa.
I pointed Vico.
Well, that's not very nice.
I'll tell you some of the more dangerous things that happen on this planet are when one of the more aggressive dinosaurs end up developing a mutation that's uncontrolled. We have had large reptiles that have developed fire breathing, able to turn invisible at will. Yeah. Things of that
Is this your
nature.
home?
Yeah, maybe you're from here.
I also had a question. So you mentioned soldiers earlier?
Yes.
Who? Soldiers of who?
Not really. Myron, how do I put this? Myron is a distribution center of the unrefined negative energy of the planet. With that, they get into things like blood sport. There's a gladiator arena in the outpost. They're a little rough and tumble down there. So people usually come through, try to win money. This is a popular stop on many routes in Dumpspace. People come through, pick up some of the drug, utilize it in the gladiator pits, try to make a living down here. So the soldiers are not necessarily, they're more mercenaries than they are soldiers. There's no really unified force. Not a lot of people have come and tried to invade the planet. It's usually seemed fine.
Are the soldiers at the Myron Outpost part of the adventuring test as well?
Adventuring test.
Yeah. He's said Dumpspace like 15 times.
I know, but I
That's
needed
the
him to
cat's-
say it out
the cat's
loud
out of the bag.
so that everyone's on the same page.
Sorry,
You still think we're in a test?
No, I'm just clarifying.
So we did pass.
well, congratulations. It sounds like that is a big milestone in your careers.
you.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so
Oh,
I
it's a
don't.
rich guy thing. You wouldn't know.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back to my job, being a doctor. But if you guys have any questions or anything, like I said, the product will be prepared by the time you're leaving. You can stop by again and come through. It sounds like you still have business on the planet. When you come back, we'll have things ready.
Tomorrow.
I say thank you in his head.
Ooh.
He says, "You're welcome." Tomorrow would be fine if you want to come tomorrow morning.
Why did he just
by all
say
means.
that?
We also don't
Great.
know what he said. We just
Yeah.
we just see him go.
all we heard was "You're welcome."
Yeah. He's just
Like, well, this guy really
Like a really arrogant guy. Like, yeah, you're welcome. Like,
Great. We'll see you very soon.
and he nods and goes away. You guys are just still in the lobby of this large corporate building.
It's still playing Girl from Ipanema, like the soft bossa nova.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. When we said we were gonna go do this whole drug distribution thing, I was picturing more like packages of white powder, not pharmaceuticals. But I guess it is what it is.
Well, if I were to make a bet, I'd say that Dr. Axiom guy would have a way out of Dumpspace.
Or yeah,
The top dog.
or
if
the people
anybody-
at Myron Outpost. They might have it too.
Well, we could try.
Spinley, do you know anything about this Dr. Axiom from your time at the desk?
Would I?
You don't.
Okay.
Would I have known him from my criminal dealings back in the day?
No, you actually would not. This is not a name that any of you recognize. It is difficult to have connections in Dumpspace because, like I said, it is not really documented that anybody has left.
How did they get there?
They got
They got dumped.
They got dumped.
So this guy used to be a god. We don't have any evidence that he exists, by the way. He could have, this other doctor could have got his name wrong, for God's sake. So he might not actually like this guy that much. But he killed him and has taken over the operation. But in any case,
Didn't your book say Dr. Axiom exists though?
he existed. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
You guys do know, like, part of the process of dumping, these guys slowly lose their divinity. Like, they do not have maybe more notable powers than the average bear.
So he could have been omnipotent and fell from potency.
He's impotent.
So he,
Now impotent.
you see, like, there's a plaque with, like it says, Dr. Axiom developed a drug to help with his potency.
But this other doctor did say that down in Outpost Myron, there's some. First of all, there's some ways to get some creds, some space credits,
And then also probably some parts.
and parts and other things for
And
getting our
maybe
ship
maybe
back
a
on course.
map of it's. He said that there's thoroughways through this this distribution. Like there's probably people that mapped out Dumpspace. You should probably.
Also, Brin, can we have our licenses now?
I
Brin,
lean and whisper.
level with us.
Wait for the blood sport part.
I do fully think, flipping through my book, I think we are currently in the
Can I
acid
try to mage hand the
retrieval.
book out of his hand?
You could try.
No. No robbing other players.
And I think we are in the asset retrieval portion of the exam. Yeah, we're almost
If
there.
the people that we are retrieving the assets from don't know this is part of the exam, are we just robbing them?
No, he's just playing along.
He just said
He's a good actor.
Does he believe this? Can I tell this?
Do you actually believe this?
Okay, above table. I'm fully making this up as I go along, right?
Yeah,
Like,
no,
So is this like a delusion? I need to keep this going
Oh,
for myself thing?
yes,
Or
yes.
okay.
Brin is fully like,
Yeah.
like Wonder Inc. is like the best thing on the in the universe to Brin.
So we're trying to talk him off the limb.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Brin is incapable.
He is the one that has not really processed that you are dumped and there is no known way to go back home ever
correct,
again.
Correct. Wonder Inc. can do no wrong to Brin, like in Brin's mind. Yeah. Yeah,
Is that us getting dumped again? Like us in here, just dumped.
yeah. Let's. I think he's a really good actor. He probably does this a lot. So let's move on to the next portion. I think it's right down there in Outpost Myron.
right.
Myron.
We gotta fly.
Right down.
Yeah.
I hop on Frank's shoulders because he's still just
Yeah, he's still just carrying you. Yeah, he does look a little bigger than he was. Like he has grown like in volume. Awesome. So you guys are probably just heading down to the outpost at that point.
I'm blubber flying down.
Yeah, you're
I'm still not breaking a sweat.
Peter Pan style.
Yeah. Did you like grow like?
Yeah, how
Did
does
you grow
it?
wings?
No, you just fully.
Is there like a tram or something down to Outpost Myron?
It's the Getty.
Wait, is on this planet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say there's a tram. I think that makes sense.
okay.
And in terms of, you don't think you grew anything, but then as you look, you do see just the tiniest little wings on his neck have like kind of sprouted and grown out.
I don't know why that creeps me out. That image really does creep me out.
Yeah. Little tiny ones. They're also skin colored.
Oh, that's worse. That's pretty bad.
Not good. Yeah, there's a tram. We'll say it takes you down.
All right, let's get on to their mode of transportation, and we'll go down.
Easy enough. Yeah. So, worker ushers you onto said tram.
I go, wait. Yeah, like in the middle of the tram, should we dress like the common man now?
Does this tram have changing rooms?
My sleeves rip off at that exact moment. Finally! It just burst off.
Let's all take off our sleeves. Yeah, dress down a little bit. Yeah.
All right, you just look like male escorts.
What?
Perfect.
This just might work.
All right, so y'all dressing like the common man by ripping your sleeves off?
Yeah, more tuxes.
All right, the tuxes of dead people get their sleeves ripped off. Easy enough to go down to like Outpost Myron, and you get dropped off like just outside. It looks like there's a platform that's set up. This place looks very shoddily put together. Like I said, it's a lot of sheet metal, barbed wire, and different mismatched poles and materials. But it's big. There's like a lot going on. This is a whole like a small town almost kind of put together. There's neon lights and things that go through. You see on the outside of kind of like the walls, there are some guards that are like standing out there. And they look like the couple that you'll see they're orcs, humans, dwarves, things of that nature. But they all look slightly different. You see some of them will have arms that look almost like scaled and blue and large, like a little too big for their frame. You see a couple orcs as they like turn sideways. You see that they're like centaurs almost. They have like, horse bottom halves, but like 6 legs instead of 4. You see a couple like float, like flying around. You see with more of those like flesh colored wings. There's like other guys and, guards just kind of like flying around patrolling with firearms. Bullet holes on the front of the gates and things as you go through, and just different buildings of like different sorts of sizes and stuff. Bustling, a lot of people kind of going through as you get to the front. And as you do that, one of the guards walks up. She's like a gnome woman, but you see that she's like floating a little bit, like she's not walking. She's like kind of floating above the ground. And she's like, business in Outpost Myron?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That business being?
Yes, please.
Big business?
Big money business.
I mean, you look like big money guys with these sleeveless tuxedos.
That's right.
Yeah.
My jacket is pulled back so that she knows I'm carrying as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. She's fully holding a gun herself, too. She's like, yeah, what is, I was going to say, she's like, Outpost Myron, it's a quick 25 gold entrance fee for the group of you, and you should be fine.
Is it like a fucking amusement park? What the fuck?
How long does the 25 gold last?
It's a one-time fee, and she's like, look, I'm going to be honest with you, and she kind of gestures to something like the bullet holes and burn marks on the front gates and stuff. We get some unsavory types in here, so we try to use this to dissuade people from coming in and causing havoc.
$25 entrance fee.
I'm going to... so I say to her, we were actually sent here by Dr. Axiom, and
I pull out the business card that he got from Dr. Edwin and go, we were told to come here.
And she looks at the card for Dr. Edwin. You mentioned Dr. Axiom, and she kind of like eyes a little bit. And she goes, okay, why?
We're going to be new distributors.
Oh, interesting. So you're working for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
for
the
him being Dr. Axiom.
Axiom, right?
I
yeah.
paused pregnantly to see if she has any. Like,
right. So you are his distributors, or you're planning on doing so?
We have a meeting with him in the next
tomorrow to finalize.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The entrance fee is 50 gold for your group. You can let me know how the meeting goes tomorrow, and ideally, you could probably stay up there tonight because we really don't want you hanging out in our outpost.
I had a feeling this would go this way. I was like, I don't think they like each other.
Now, if you are truly big business types who are willing to big money business. Sorry, I apologize. Left that part out. Who are willing to change their minds about things, please let me know, because then you might have business inside the outpost.
Oh, no, yes, we are not tied to any
Like we said,
came
that
to
meeting
this
was
We're tired of
tomorrow.
big money.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's what I like to hear. And she rips the business card in half
I'm
and
not
kind of
really
throws it away.
understanding that everyone is lying, so I'm like, we just spoke to him. It was so nice.
And she goes, "You're looking for audience with jargon." He kind of runs the whole joint here. If I were you, I would lead with him and tell him that you are working to get on Axiom's good side, and you may be an in with him. See where it takes you.
I want to insight check this.
Go for it.
I think I'll also step forward like I did at the other, like I did up top, and just be like, one compressor, please.
13.
13. She doesn't seem like, she seems pretty serious right now.
Can I take a glance around and see if all the people around me, any of them look like they've been battle hardened?
Oh, just about everyone.
Okay.
And like I said, they have all these weird mutations and things.
But they all look like they've seen combat.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you step up and you say like, one compressor. She goes, oh, and she kind of takes it back. You guys are new to Dumpspace, aren't you?
What?
That's what it is?
No.
No.
No?
Define
Yes.
new.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Several hours old, in fact.
Several hours.
I don't know
Okay.
how to lie.
I see.
How
Okay.
does time work on this planet?
You normally like time. That's totally fine. I get it. I get
1
it.
minute, 60
We're
seconds.
showing our hand.
Yes, 1 minute is still 60 seconds. And she goes, I get it. Oh my God, you guys are green as hell. Okay, you got, let me guess, on a ship, moving slower than you think, compressor doesn't work, right? Am I, anyone?
Correct.
Correct. That's okay. You're looking, okay, look, I'm going to do you a solid and you just need to promise that you're not going to go up there and fucking work for Axiom after this, okay? You're looking for a negative space compressor. The atmosphere is different out here. The space is different out here. You guys got dumped. They don't have all that clean air bullshit that they have in Wonder Space anymore. You need a specific compressor that gets you through. That's why you're here. That makes more sense. Okay. Jargon can also help you with that, and you can help yourselves with that because the only way you're getting that technology, and she points up to the facility up at the top of the mountain, and she says, is from him. But he's a dick, and he's not going to give it to you willingly. So work out some plans. You can get more details from Jargon, but I think all the stuff that you're trying to accomplish here can be accomplished if you get in with us.
You seem pretty nifty about the dump space travel. Would you happen to know if there's a way out of this place into Wonder Space?
And she kind of laughs. She goes, look, man, people don't get out of dump space. We had one guy pass through that supposedly goes back and forth, and that was a few months ago. He got in pretty with Jargon too, and then we haven't seen him since. So who
Would
knows?
this fella happen to have a name?
Yeah, his name was Malcolm.
Very basic name.
Very basic name. Yeah.
For dump space.
It's actually a common dump space.
A lot of Malcolms get dumped.
And she says, I mean, nice enough guy. He was a badass too. He went and kind of kicked ass in the pit when he was here. Triton guy, hammerhead shark. Can't miss him. He's not exactly subtle. He came through, said he's gone back and forth a couple times. We called him on his bullshit, but he brought us back some stuff only from Wonder Space. So he's,
Like Toblerones?
yeah, I was Toblerones. Yeah. He brought back the Kinder eggs from the UK, but they're like way legal and they still have the toys inside.
He's got Kit Kats from Japan.
Yeah, matcha flavor. They're so good. So who knows if he's just bullshitting and had a bunch of cool stuff on his ship from when he originally got dumped, but I think he's lying. But if you want to go chase him down, it's like chasing a fucking ghost. He'd be the guy to go to. Jargon knows that guy too. You got to go talk to him.
Well, thank you for the information, miss.
Yeah,
What
of
was
course.
your name?
My name's Pete.
Oh, I thought you were a woman.
I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you're beautiful.
It's just a
He's
sight to
living
behold.
incredibly
I
sheltered
bow,
life.
my lady.
He's going through a 97-person divorce right
Yeah,
now.
no, that's crazy. Yeah, my name's Pete. P-E-E-T. I was gonna say Peta, but I was scared of the Hunger Games connection there, so then I dropped the A. When I
Big
said,
fan of your coffee.
yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah,
Also a different Pete.
also different Pete. Yeah. And she opens the gate and lets you in. And she goes, your bill is still 50 gold.
I was gonna flip her one piece of gold just to be nice, but
She catches it, and she says, you still owe me 24, but take your time, give it to me before you leave.
I vomit some rusty bolts.
Oh my god.
And I put it in your hand and be like, this is for all your
Oh
help.
my god.
She looks at it, she's like, why is there blue cheese on these? Oh God! Throws it away.
That is Wonderspace blue cheese.
Eats it.
It's not getting any of that around here.
And you guys enter Outpost Myron, and like I said, it's a pretty it's a happening place. Like there's a lot going on. You see, there's rough and tumble types. A lot of people are like looking you guys up and down as you're going through, and a lot of the people here have some sort of mutation, right? You see guys, and some of them look like they'd be helpful for combat. Some people have like armored hides or maybe like scales and spikes that come through. Some of them have like faces of gators and things like that. Others have just like kind of some weird ones like beaks that they have developed, or, you know, they're walking on gorilla arms and things that don't look very natural. So there's a lot of like different sort of body changes that have happened.
I puff out my neck frills.
Yeah. I do with my wings too.
Well, you guys do that and people are like flash thumbs up to you and they're good.
I'm waving friendly to everybody.
People are usually like really not waving back to you.
I'm still waving.
Yeah, so I mean, there's, you know, like a normal town, so there's, you know, kind of like taverns here, there's stores, you guys can shop around. You do see in the center, there is basically this big tube that is legitimately a cage, just like up and down, and you hear cheers and things going, you know, from the cage, and you hear like, you know, people hitting the cage, metal on metal. It seems like there's a lot going on in the pit in the center of town right now.
That's the blood sport. Maybe we talk with
Jargon
first and see what he wants us to do.
I mean, I will say the lady said we can only get the drives from
Axiom.
Dr. Axiom. And we kind of have an in already.
Yeah,
But Jargon will tell us where Hammerhead is.
Yeah.
and they said that Axiom will not give up the negative space compressor willingly.
Well, have they
He
tried
probably could
asking
sniff out
nicely?
our lie pretty quickly, actually.
Let's see what Jargon has to say. Maybe he has a plan.
Where do we find this
Jargon.
jargon fella?
Did Pete tell us?
I don't think. Did Pete tell us?
She did not.
Okay,
start
that's what I thought. I was
yelling
like, did I
jargon?
miss something?
You start
Mr.
yelling.
Jargon, where are you? We're looking for you, Mr. Jargon.
As you do that, you see, he goes, "Hey, you're looking for Jargon?" And it's this like, it's a cyclops who's about twice your size, but he has 4 arms, and he's got like spiked scales going all the way down his back and stuff to like a big like tail, like a stegosaurus tail almost. And he kind of walked around. And he goes, "You're looking for Jargon?"
Yeah, you got a lot going on, buddy.
I do. It's a lot going on. He goes, "Look, Jargon doesn't give a fuck who you are unless you go make a name for yourself in that pit. So if you want audience with him, you're going to have to go do battle against who they call the Uglies."
Well, I'm no good at fighting, but I can give it a shot.
And he hands you like a flyer. And he goes, "Nobody's volunteered to fight these guys because they have an undefeated record. 6 wins, 0 losses. So if you guys are interested in fighting them, let me know. We can get you in there. Jargon will be sure to talk to you if you can beat those guys."
We'll show them who's ugly, right, boys?
Yeah, we'll show them who's ugly and fat.
We're ugly and we are proud.
you take the flyer and you look, as you're saying that, and you look down, and the first person on the poster for the Uglies is this guy. And he's crossing all 4 of his arms. He goes, "Oh, you can take on the Uglies, huh? Well, let me tell you, I'm the ugliest motherfucker this planet's ever seen."
No, you're perfect.
Why not talk
You
about
look
yourself
beautiful.
like that, dude?
Frank's still hyped up on drugs. He's trying to bite his ankles.
Yeah.
And I'm like trying to hold him back.
Yeah, you're holding the back. And he
He
goes,
has bad self.
So it's like a
self-talk.
team
Yeah.
thing?
"Oh yeah, you're gonna fight me and my boys against you and your whatever you guys are.
What are the rules?
No rules.
Oh, let's go. We got this. Yeah.
You
What
fight to
is-
kill."
What do those guys look like?
The other guys?
Yeah.
And you see he hands you more flyers. There's like character posters for each team. He's like, we wasted a lot of
stats on there.
I like the cape on this guy.
I get one. I'm just like, you want to trade?
we wasted
collect.
a lot of ink.
Shiny,
Paper. So it's there's him. There, you know, the uglies, right?
HYMN.
What? No, yeah. There's a him. Yeah. So there's
You
this.
just said Pete. You can't get mad at me for that.
Yeah, there's the Cyclops, right? So it's this guy. He is one of them. The other 2 character posters, there is one that it's like this giant warthog, but it looks like a mix of like a warthog and a dragon. And then there's another one that looks like this giant python, but it's got wings and like spider legs. And it's like real fucking body horror style, real gross.
There's 3 of them?
Yeah.
3v6, huh?
I like those odds.
Wait, did you say you like those odds?
That's what I said. I don't. I'm really confused as to you thought who else would have said that.
Yeah, I think you have another skill of like throwing your voice. Have you tried, acting?
You know, I took a couple voice lessons, but I ended up getting nodes on my vocal cords that I had to therapize. It was difficult.
I'm sorry.
I
to
heard
hear
it's from
that.
singing a song.
Yeah, it's from singing songs too loud.
Talk, dude. This guy has low self-esteem.
Yeah.
No, I don't. All right. Look, maybe. I didn't have to name us the uglies. Like, I was kind of a disservice to the other guys too.
The
Kind of,
average lookings
Yeah,
doesn't
on
really
this
flow
side-
off the tongue.
yeah, no, it's the uglies has been sick. Like
On
people
the
have
sign-up
gears.
flyer, there's a blank space, but any name you want. For
Sorry, yeah, we chose the uglies, and I don't know. Maybe I did them a disservice. I kind of put us in a box because that way you got to be these
Oh
like.
no, your friends are ugly.
Yeah. Oh.
But
okay.
you.
But I'm not.
You're average.
Oh. And he puts one hand on one shoulder, another hand on your shoulder, and then another hand like on your legs, and all four of them. And he picks you up like this, and he's like kind of holding you like medieval torture star style. And he's
And
like,
I'm not familiar with this hug.
and he's like, "Thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
Hey, you got it, bud.
I'll kill you last when we get in there."
Great.
Drops you.
What's
it's to the death.
Yeah. You thought the no rule? That was the one rule. Again, make sure you're gentle with the competitors.
what's the purse for this contest tonight?
There is 500 gold on the line for it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
This is just a
you're pretty
win-win.
wealthy then. You got 6 wins, huh?
Oh yeah. So 500 gold.
That's the good self-talk.
Where's your
Yeah.
tux?
yeah, which is
He goes, I just recently mutated to where I don't have pores anymore, so I don't or sweat glands, so I don't sweat anymore. So
Great start.
I'm getting up there. And you see him. He kind of reaches into his bag and he pulls out what looks like an inhaler, and it's like this one is blue. You see with like blue gas, and he goes.
Is that the one that gave you wings?
I say
Yes.
under my breath, nerd.
He goes, what? And he goes,
Bird.
sign up, put your names down, catch you in there in a couple of hours, all right? Then you get an audience with jargon if you can go through me.
What a nice guy.
But you'll be dead.
Yeah,
go
I'm not.
through, yeah.
I don't know how to convey that I'm not worried about that outcome. Like, it's
But
not
we'll be
something.
dead if you win.
Yeah,
Right. So we wouldn't get to meet Jargon.
Yeah.
correct.
right.
Right.
But
So-
you wouldn't be alive
Look,
to
they're
see
not
us
called
go
the
through.
logical, okay?
Look, my brain is small, okay? I'm
They're
sorry.
not called the reasonable.
Yeah.
All right, heard.
You guys suck. He just storms off, runs away, crying with his one eye. And he goes away. And then you guys
What's his
have.
name?
We didn't get
Chud.
No, I figure it's on the flyer, right? On his character card.
No, he didn't include it. There's no names. It's just.
ugly one.
Yeah.
Cyclops forearms.
Yeah, it's called The Ugliest. And he goes, I didn't
kinda
want to put
hard.
my real name
Ugly,
because
uglier and uglier.
That's actually kind of hard for like a video game boss fight.
The ugliest.
the
Ugly,
ugliest.
uglier, and like the 3 phases.
Ugliest, yeah.
Yeah.
I've entered my ugliest phase. My Final Fantasy transformation to the ugliest. And he hands you guys the flyer. And he takes off. So it seems like to get audience with jargon, you are going to need to fight your way through this pit.
Is it a tournament or is it just we go straight to them?
Just go straight to them.
Heck yeah.
Is there? Can we? Within the line of sight, do we see like a way to sign up? Is there a clipboard hanging?
Yes, there is.
Excellent.
Guys, I
I
think
go-
we're fully moving on to the confrontation part.
What are we
of
putting on this clipboard?
Why are you looking at me?
I'm asking in general.
It does ask
Yeah.
for team name.
Oh my gosh, this is a big moment, everybody. Let's
As
get
new
hires.
excited.
The new hires. The new
Recently
hires.
recently dumped. It's
Recent-
a double entendre.
Why?
As you're doing that, there's
Don't worry, we can be the getting back out there, huh?
there's this robot Warforged guy that walks by and he like looks at you. He goes, "You look like a guy that recently went through a breakup."
How'd you know?
You just look at it and he walks away. You got a sadness about you.
My color's just kind of drained.
Yeah.
I'm cold-blooded and now I'm super cold.
As you guys go, you like look and it looks like just having like entered the gate again, like mid-fight, that Cyclops goes back in the ugliest, like goes back into the fight. During it looks like an active competition, he went out like during the fight to talk to you guys. He goes, "Sorry, I drank last night, so I had to pee again." He kind of gets down there. And as this is happening, you watch, there's like 3 other guys in the pit like fighting, and you see the warthog thing, which is huge by the way, just fucking impale one of them against the wall, and the snake go and finish swallowing one whole as the guy, like the Cyclops walks in, he goes, guess it's done. 7 wins for us. And then the crowd's like, yeah, and they start cheering and stuff, banging on the cage, and it looks like your work is cut out for you. That's where we'll end today's session. Guys, the uglies.
So much fun. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love that world building. It's really
I think
nice, Justin.
I think you guys are gonna have excellent times, especially with the drugs that definitely don't have negative side effects. That guy seemed real cool. Super fun. I'm gonna throw stuff at you like that has nothing but positive effects.
Oh no.
D12 of regen at the end of every round could be pretty big.